Welcome to Ali's channel. Today we're going to be canning carrots. I will be using organic carrots, but if you don't have those available, just use regular carrots. We're gonna wash them, peel them, and slice them into small round pieces or in the shape that you prefer. To make the process a little bit faster, I am going to be using a food processor, but you can always cut them by hand. This will actually ensure that all the pieces are about the same size. Once you're done slicing all of the carrots, we're going to start filling our jars. We need to make sure we leave 1 inch of head space in all of them. There were some missed shapes when I used the food processor, as you can see here, so I will definitely recommend, even though it's going to take you a little bit longer time, I would recommend to cut them by hand. Next, we're going to be adding half teaspoon of salt to each 16-ounce jar. This is optional. You can simply add water without salt, and you can salt them once you open the jar and you are ready to prepare your meal. So we are going to be filling up all the jars with hot water, and then we're going to make sure there are no bubbles left. I'm using the same tool that I have to place the lids, but you can use anything else that you have available. Once you are done debubbling, the next step is to verify that you still have 1 inch of head space. Then you're going to be wiping all of the rims with a piece of paper or a piece of cloth with vinegar. And then we're going to proceed placing the lids. Now we're going to go ahead and place all the rims. We need to make sure that you don't tighten them too much. It should be finger tight. I usually use the rule of using only 3 fingers to tighten them. As we work with the jars, we need to make sure that we have at least 2 inches of water in the canner, and I always like to add a little bit of vinegar. This is so that the jars come out a little bit cleaner. Then we proceed to place all the jars in the canner. Now we proceed placing the lid on the canner. We need to make sure that it's even on all sides. Then we can proceed with tighten all of the knobs. We're going to turn on the heat to about a medium to a medium high until we see steam coming out of the valve. Once you see a continuous steam, you're gonna let it run for another 10 minutes. After the 10 minutes have passed, you're going to be adding your weight. It depends on the altitude, the type of weight you're going to use. In my case, I will be using 10 psi. We're gonna wait until the pressure canner has reached the 10 psi. And then we're going to wait to make sure that temperature or that pressure remains constant. You know when it's ready when you hear the weight dancing for about 3 times per minute. But you cannot leave this area. You need to be right next to the canner to make sure the pressure doesn't go below 10 psi or above it. Once it's steady, then we're going to start with the processing time, which will be 25 minutes for carrots. Once the processing time is done, we're simply going to turn it off, and we will wait for the counter to go back to zero pressure so it is safe to open the counter. First, we're going to remove the weight. I usually leave it for a couple of minutes so that any remaining pressure goes off before I open the counter. And now it's time to remove all of the jars. Make sure you already have an area prepared for the jars. They should be left alone for about 16 to 18 hours without touching them. After that time has passed, you can remove the bands or the rings. Then I usually wash them and let them dry before I place them in my pantry. According to the manufacturer, these should be good for about 18 months as long as they stay in a cool, dark area. I hope you found this video helpful. Thank you for watching.